Hello viewers, here I am out in the middle of nowhere on some sort of little mountain or hill that my car that you can see is clearly not designed for, filming an action short film tentatively called Pandora. This is an independent action short film for Forerunner Pictures, directed by James Lee, and being action, it should be action-packed, action-packed, action! Wow, action, action, car moving, brrr, action, action, in, out, and more action, down there, in and out, explosion, ah! Not really. Oh, action, I'm running from something. Oh, wait, I'm not running from anything, it's just my car. So here I am as second assistant director for the day. This is the final scene of the shoot, which is the finale of the film, obviously. So I thought I'd document a bit of it and let you guys know what is happening on the independent Australian film circuit, or the guerrilla film circuit that is largely ignored by our film industry, which is almost non-existent. If I was walking down the street and this film was just being played in the cinema and I had no idea what it was about, and one of you two was sitting out the front and I asked you, how would you describe this?
An item was stolen from a secret government facility, and a group of mercenaries are hired to track it down, unaware of the dangers that they're about to face.
I know you can't reveal much about this, but where did the concept of this film come from?
Originally, we were supposed to make a much larger budgeted film, and due to location reasons, we couldn't shoot the film. So we opted for a much simpler story. Well, not simpler story, but a location that we could easily obtain.
It seems like these guerrilla films are now becoming more and more easier to make. The locations is one big thing. I find technology is another thing. Is this something that's a big factor when it comes to making such a low budget or guerrilla film?
You know, now you can go out, you can film on a DSLR. You have like a tiny crew to do that. You don't need a whole massive production company behind you. So it is easy just to get out there and shoot a film.
And there's other ways to get finance now through obviously social media and crowdfunding. You know,
yeah,
it's a great way to just get your idea out to your audiences straight away, and then if people dig it, then you can create content really quickly.
In terms of distribution, because distribution has become a lot easier with the number of film festivals that exist across the world now that you can access just through the internet, but also YouTube you can use as well. Is that the sort of platform that you want to go for, or do you want to put it through cinemas?
I suppose at this point it's open-ended. You know, we definitely want to build an audience through YouTube by releasing this film in several parts, for instance, and just building an audience there, and then being able to make content for them, and then create bigger and larger films from this film.
Yeah.
But there's also a sense that as the film wraps up, I think we got a chance to put it through festivals, or something like some festivals that perhaps are interested in this style of filmmaking.
Because the good thing about festivals these days is you can get really specific ones like action film festivals, or horror ones, or even experimental ones. And from what I've seen, this is clearly an action film. It's interesting that I spoke about how action should be made on film, in my opinion, a few weeks ago on The Real Corner. Is this something that you agree with me in the sense of keeping the camera back, letting the audience see, or do you opt for a more cut here, cut there, moving everything around approach? Yeah,
well, obviously through the casting process, we managed to obtain some actors that actually have stunt experience. So starting on that foundation, being able to choreograph fight scenes that when you push the camera back, you can actually see what's going on, and that's definitely our philosophy in terms of we didn't want to have the audience be in this situation where they're just disorientated and they can't see what's going on. So
just like
from the start, exactly. So definitely, we're trying to set a new trend, not a new trend, but it's a trend that's kind of we're going away from that shaky cam look and that multiple cut kind of thing, and I think that's unattractive. I think it's better to be able to pull the camera back and really see what's happening.
Are you trying to bring the action in so it actually integrates with the characterization and the narrative?
Well, Pandora is dialogue heavy in a lot of ways. Our action scenes are quite sparing. That also has to do with being able to afford the time and people for action sequences. So the action scenes that do happen are there for a reason, and even then we have dialogue through those action sequences that allow the story to keep progressing. And James, you work with guys that try and get different styles for each character, to like in terms of fighting styles.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah, absolutely. We worked a lot on with our stunt coordinators of crafting out a specific, you know, identity that the mercenaries would have. Like you say, like in terms of philosophy, I just think half the films today, they don't benefit from a really, really good story where you could care for the characters and what they're doing, and therefore it would make the action even more intense, and you'd be able to follow just the characters better, and it'd just be more interesting and more entertaining, and that's what we're trying to strive for.
I find the Australian film industry tends to just punch out a lot of dramas and comedies and the occasional horror. So why have you guys not opted for something like that, which seems to be more supported in this industry, and gone for an action film, which is very much what people would think is a Hollywood type production?
I know for me, part of it's because when I first looked into doing a uni course in filmmaking, it was because I came from a background where filmmaking was fun. You get an idea, you go out, you shoot it, and I want to explore more of that and find out what's possible. Through uni, part of that can lead to the belief that drama and high concept films are the only way to go. But I think Pandora takes a bit from that, but still punches through the fun aspect. Like, we want to make this film because we want to make a film. That's
I think
crazy.
definitely
Yeah.
it has a. I mean, from my background, I'm definitely into developing high concept films in the sense that it's got a hook or a cash, and it's very classical Hollywood, and that's just, I feel, to a certain extent, you know, you can watch a great drama film and it's emotionally engaging and all that, but to a certain extent, people always need a dream, and they always need to have great, you know, they need to be able to relax and go to a theatre and see something that's extraordinary, you know, just spectacular. And spectacular filmmaking, I think, is just, it's got a place in every industry to a certain extent. And I think with the Australian industry, you know, you've got great actors and great people that can do numerous jobs, as well as acting and stunt work, and great crew. So I think it really should change.
Well, it sounds really interesting, because I was running around with the camera, not really knowing what was going on, but I am really looking forward to seeing this. People have been watching some of the footage I've taken throughout the production, so let's take a look at the bit of the trailer that was released a few months ago.
Neither of you have any great means of protecting yourselves, and we're out here in the forest with ninjas, gangsters, and blood mercenaries. So show some damn respect and tell us what's going on. I can't.